and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, consumers may be getting some relief from those annoying robocalls. We'll talk with retiring Tullahoma School Director Dr. Dan Lawson, and we'll tell you about several fun charitable events coming up this weekend. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Who will be Mr. and Ms. Tullahoma Canine this year? Which dog will win the Best Trick Award? Find out at the Animal Shelter's Bark in the Park, Saturday, October 13th from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Help support the Animal Medical Care Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contest, pup paw art, grooming, ninja slide, and more. Sponsorships, silent auction items, and volunteers are needed. To learn more, contact Teresa Holt at 454-9580 or visit our website.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife, Jackie, has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. Tennessee Attorney General Herbert Slattery III, along with a bipartisan coalition of 34 attorneys general, is calling on the Federal Communication Commission to create new rules to allow telephone service providers to block more illegal robocalls being made to unsuspected consumers in Tennessee and across the country. The formal comment to the FCC explains that scammers using illegal robocalls have found ways to evade a call blocking order entered last year by the FCC. Scammers disguise their identities, making it difficult for law enforcement to bring them to justice. They also use techniques that allow calls, no matter where they originate, to appear to be from a phone number with the same local area code as the consumer.
The added authority sought by the attorneys general will allow service providers to use technology to detect and block spoofed calls, even those coming from what are otherwise legitimate phone numbers. Service providers will be ready to launch this new authentication method in 2019. The initiative, for which the attorneys general seek FCC approval, concerns illegal robocalls, which are made to consumers regardless of whether they sign up for Do Not Call list.
Tullahoma's Director of City Schools is retiring at the end of the month. Tom Corrington spoke with Dr. Dan Lawson last week, and tonight we bring you part 2 of that interview.
All right. Well, we've had, and I think you've had some good publicity over this. How about the introduction of technology into the classroom? How has that battle gone, and has it been won?
I think it won't be won. It will continue to be waged because of the evolution of technologies. And candidly, we have seen some level of technologies that we think add value and we're very comfortable with. But there's an essential part of me that believes that I want that 3rd and 4th grader walking out of the class knowing that 7 times 7 is 49, and they don't have to decipher with some device. And if that device is unplugged, they don't have the skill to do the work. I think that the great thing about technology is it gives us access to the best of the world at our fingers. The dreadful thing about technology is it gives us access to the worst of the world at our fingers. So that issue of digital citizenship is something that I think we will continue to wage a battle on.
Well, I would hope so. Technology is great, but on the other hand, it's, I would think, hasn't lost any importance that we stuff some knowledge into our head, and it stays there, and you don't have to rely on the technology in order to use it. I need to remind all of us that Dr. Lawson is very distinguished in his field. and he's highly respected and has been very active at the state level as a consultant and as the head of the School Superintendents Association, and so he's as a matter of career choice, he's going to be missed, I think, by all over the state to some degree. Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's get your view of what you consider the high points for you in the last 22 years.
I think there are a couple of things that I will leave behind that I think are great to build on. The culture of innovation, not necessarily technology, but the culture of innovation that says, let's try to do this to make something better. I think it's important, and I think that's something that our community has believed in. That's something that our board very much buys into. We could continue to function as a good school district, and I think our board is really on a push to transition from that good to great, which is a real battle. So I think that culture of innovation is pretty exciting. I hope I leave behind a culture of positivity. You know, generally it's pretty easy in my job to only deal with the phone calls that are pretty negative. Yeah. And I really aspire to make lemons out of this lemonade that is life. So I hope as I'm remembered here, I'm remembered as one who finds reasons to smile and reasons to enjoy the work, and I hope positivity is there.
I think you have been successful in that regard. We've always, it's not hard to find something to be critical about.
Right.
There's plenty of that going on, so trying to overcome that probably has taken a lot of energy out of you over the years. How about a couple of things that you wish you could have seen happen that didn't? You got a couple of those?
Let me tie to one that did. We had a niche of kids that weren't involved in something, that were perhaps underserved. And so the principal at that time and I talked about what can we do to better connect some kids. And we began the process of talking with the United States Marine Corps about starting a Marine Corps Junior ROTC. We have a group of kids now involved who weren't involved in school at the same level before that program existed. They weren't involved in community service. They weren't involved in a level of self-respect that they enjoy. I guess what I've left behind that is undone is not having more niches like Marine Corps Junior ROTC, where all of our kids will feel affiliated, involved, and as an integral part of what's important to them in school. I think we as a society have to do a better job of finding that place where they fit, where they belong, where they feel safe. High school band is one of those places. A football team is one of those places. Marine Corps ROTC is one of those places. I think we have to do a better job of finding those places to adapt to very diverse interests and needs that our students have.
Stay with us. More News Leader is coming up after these messages.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Peggy Burton spoke earlier this week with Judy Jenkins about the One Day of Hope event coming up this weekend.
One Day of Hope has been my passion for the last 4 years, and I want to share it with all of Coffee County, particularly those citizens in Tullahoma that really need this. One Day of Hope is a collaborative effort from Coffee County individuals, businesses, churches, and people with kind hearts that want to help our less fortunate individuals. We all sometimes can't control what happens to us in life, and there are so many needy people, and One Day of Hope is there to help. Now, it is one day in which we're at Coffee County Fairgrounds, but we plan for it 365 days out of the year, and we are working so very hard to maybe make it many days of hope, so that'll be in the future. But in the meantime, we are inviting anyone that needs our services.
And what are some of the services?
Well, they're absolutely endless, and that's the exciting thing. We provide on that one day containers of food, clothing that involve winter coats, children's underwear, work boots that have steel-toed shoes in them, tennis shoes, shoes for children. We then also have some men's work clothing and some ladies' clothing. And you're basically taken into one of the warehouses at I think it's called the Starnes Building in Coffee County Fairgrounds, and someone will help you shop for all the things that you need.
And is there an evaluation of the people that can come through there?
No, we want you to be a Tullahoma resident, a Coffee County resident. We want someone that needs our services. We'd like to provide free lunch for that day, and everybody really enjoys that. And on top of that, we're going to do free haircuts. And
what a great idea.
Isn't that wonderful? Everybody needs a spruce up just to make you feel better. But a lot of our individuals get the free haircut and then they wander over to the family portrait with their loved ones and have their first family picture taken. And we have a processing machine that then processes the photo and we get to hand it to them. Right. One of the other things that I'm equally excited about is for children. We not only have a children's zone with inflatables and games and fun, but this year we're going to give out a bag of toys to each child. So each child will go home with a bag that has 3 toys in it. Then we have children's books, brand new books that have been donated from all over the county as a gift just to them, and all they have to do is stop by and pick it up. The other thing that I'm really excited about is called the CHIP program.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it's being run by the Masons here in Tennessee, and it's a child identification program. If you will bring your child, they will take a swab inside their mouth, they will take a short voice recording, and they will take their fingerprints. They will give all that information to you. They keep nothing. But if, God forbid, a horrible event occurs and your child is missing, you then have the ability to say, this is my child, and if it matches, then you can prove it. We also have job services. There are a lot of people that need jobs still, and sometimes they need a little bit of help, you know, securing it. We have Life Choices is out there to counsel people. We're going to have some anti-drug individuals there if that's a service that you need. The citizens of Coffee County have been so wonderful about donating. We have 82 churches with over 600 volunteers that help us pull off this one day. And then at the very end, we have something very special, and it's all, no one is forced to go into any of these areas. If you would like to go into our prayer tent, we have individuals that feel that if you will just come and just share with them a few minutes of your time, if you would want someone to pray for you, there's somebody that wants to do that. Our whole goal is to make you feel like an honored community member, someone like a VIP that gets that little extra special treatment, because you know we all need that to feel like our lives are worthwhile. Oh, there's something I totally forgot. I can't even believe it. We have free medical and free dental.
You're kidding.
dental care. The dentists are there. They will evaluate you. Anything they can do right then and there, they'll do. If it's a little more complicated, they'll give you their card. You then go to their office where things are a little more sterile. They have more equipment. So please take advantage of that.
More News Leader is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Rush Bricken demands governmental financial responsibility.
Rush Bricken cares about veterans and will defend the Constitution.
Rush Bricken knows small business creates good jobs.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'd like to be your next Tennessee representative.
For fiscal soundness.
I'm picking Bricken.
For low taxes.
I'm picking Bricken.
For good jobs and roads.
I'm picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Welcome back. The first ever River Romp is coming up this Saturday in Manchester. Scott Van Velser tells us more.
I am so happy to have with me Scott Van Velser. You're here about art, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about it, what it is that you're selling.
So, not necessarily selling anything, but my wife and I started a public arts program earlier this year, and we realized that we wanted to do events at the same time. We've produced a number of events over the years, and we figured out that we could use it as a funding mechanism to pay artist fees and to get some art installed. So,
that's a fabulous plan.
Thank you. We've done a car show in downtown Manchester on the Courthouse Square. We did a downtown luau, which had pig roasting and all kinds of kids games, and we turned the sprinklers on the street and stuff like that, and really a lot of success throwing those events. And so we conceived a third one this year, probably our last one. That's coming up on October 13th. It's at Rotary Park in Manchester.
Okay.
And it is
for people that really don't know exactly where that is, how do they find it?
So if you go to the rec center off of Highway 53,
yes,
and behind it is this really beautiful amphitheater that Rotary built a number of years ago that's not really utilized, but it has a gorgeous green space in front of it along the Little Duck River. And it's a perfect spot to have a art vendor fair. And so that's what we conceived. And
so are you inviting artists to sign up?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And they buy a spot?
We're giving the spots away for free.
Oh, you are?
Yes,
wow.
As long as you make the art, and it could be anything from metalwork to woodworking to knitting to painting to literature. We're inviting anybody that has made their own art, and we're keeping it exclusively that because we've been to a lot of...
It's not like just a crafty show. You're talking about art, handmade.
Yes. I mean, a big deficiency we've seen with a lot of art festivals over the years is that not everything is actually made by the person that's selling it. And so it kind of...
I do not like that.
I don't either, because it looks like it's been made in the South, but it's been made in Mexico or somewhere else.
It's made in Japan, and you wanted it to be made in the South.
Exactly right. So it takes away the trust that you would have when you buy a piece of art from somebody. So we're trying this out this year to see what kind of reaction we get from local artists, because this area is surprisingly full of makers that do crafts, and they don't necessarily have a lot of places to sell them.
What's the time span? You said the 13th of October, which is kind of getting in the Halloween season.
Right.
So what time will it open?
So we're doing it in the sweet spot of the day, from 3 to 7 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon.
And will there be food for sale and stuff like that?
There is. We have 3 food trucks. We're going to have a Tennessee craft beer truck. There's going to be about 20 or 30 vendors so far that we have signed up. Of course, we're looking for more. And
if somebody wants to sign up with you, how do they get? Who do they contact?
There is a Facebook page for the event. It is called River Romp, and I'll give you all the links.
River
so you could
Romp?
River Romp.
R-O-M-P.
R-O-M-P.
Fun.
Yes,
All right, this is coming up October 13th, and I think this is a family affair, right?
Yes.
All ages are invited. It's free. And vendors will be there, I suppose, selling food. So
yes.
And selling art.
Selling art, selling food.
Yeah. So don't come with your pockets empty. Come with a little money on you, or a checkbook, and be ready to support this beautiful effort.
And we're going to have kids games and things like that too.
Yeah.
So it'll be a
love
nice
the
end of the
idea.
year.
And I think it's going to be very successful. So any last words to the public?
Well, the whole premise of the program is to build placemaking, which is through public art. So we want to continue this program through next year and maybe even into 2020. And this event is just sort of a vehicle to do that.
Love it. Thanks for coming, Scott.
Thank you very much.
I will look forward to the event. Try my best to get over there.
And we'll be back in a moment with more News Leader on 6.
Welcome back. Joyce Prusak, Executive Director of the Coffee County Children's Advocacy Program, stopped by our studios to tell us about an event they have coming up this Saturday.
We're going to talk about children's advocacy today. I have with me Joyce Prusak. Hi, Joyce.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What's happening this year?
Oh, goodness.
It's happening soon, I know.
It is happening soon. We have, we're doing an event for kids and families alike, something new. We are bringing the School of Wizardry to Manchester, Tennessee. Yes. And we are actually very excited. We've had to temper our enthusiasm a little bit because the School of Wizardry, as a lot of kids and parents know, is a very popular thing.
Right.
And there's so many activities we could do for this that we're starting off with games and activities and food and that sort of thing.
And it's for everybody, but it's for children?
Yeah, it's really aimed towards children, but we want parents and all the fans of the famous wizard to come out. A lot of the games and activities will be geared more towards the younger ones, but there will be a food station, the Flying Cauldron, which will have I Can't Believe It's Not Butterbeer, some polyjuice floats, some fall festive treats that everybody can partake in. Kids and adults can get sorted into their houses. It's just going to be a fun event.
So the event is basically free, but you bring money to exchange for something.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bank set up where kids and adults will change money, their dollars, for Goblin Gold, and then use Goblin Gold throughout the event. So they'll be using it for food, for games, for Yule Ball. We actually have a DJ that's going to be playing music and set up in the basement at the church at 117 in Manchester, where kids can come dressed in their robes. They'll get their wands at the event if they spin the wheel of wands, and just to have a fun festive time.
And so if they have from $10 to $20, they can still have a great time.
Absolutely. Even if they have 5, there'll be something for them to do.
I think it sounds fabulous. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, free admission, and it's located
at the church at 117, which is on 117th East 4th Street, just off the square a little bit in Manchester.
You just can't miss it. If you get on the square and start driving around, you'll see all this hoopla going on over there. Is this all inside?
It's all inside. There'll be a couple of things outside, like picture opportunities and maybe a cornhole game, but everything else will be inside.
Okay.
So,
and this is, it just sounds like a fabulous event. And the money that you do raise, let's talk about where that money goes.
Yeah, all the money that's raised comes right back to the Coffee County Children's Advocacy Center, and we help children who have been victims of severe abuse right here in Coffee County.
That's something that just really touches my heart. I was not abused, but there are so many children in life that are abused, and often they go unnoticed because they're afraid to come forward.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for children that might be abused?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is to find somebody safe that they feel that they can talk to. A lot of kids that do come to us actually have tried to tell somebody before and they weren't believed.
And they wouldn't listen.
Right, and somebody wouldn't listen. So to make sure that that next person that they tell is going to get them the help that they need, that's the most important thing.
Do
Absolutely.
y'all have office hours?
We do. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. Wednesday is a little bit longer.
And where's your office?
We're on the square, 2 doors down from Tolliver's in Manchester. Our number is 723-8888. If a
Oh, there we
parent-
go. It's on the.
Yeah.
Write that down. And this goes if you're a child or if you're an adult that has an issue with any of this. Don't be afraid to come forward.
Right. And call us and ask a question. You know, even if you don't know, we'll try and point you in the right direction.
Do you have any idea how many people you've helped each year?
We usually
Or an
help,
average?
It's usually between 280 and 300 children each year get our services directly at our center. And then, so we're actually over 3,600 since we've opened our
That's
doors.
amazing.
And over 19,000 kids in Coffee County schools, including
19,000.
Tullahoma schools, have gotten prevention education from us.
And now
Beautiful
let's go back to October 13th because we don't want anybody to miss the School of Wizardry.
No, we're really excited.
How did y'all come up with that idea?
We walked into the church at 117 and it reminded us of a great hall, and that was it.
Okay. Well, folks, it's time for us to go. So on October 13th, we're looking forward to the big event with the Wizardry Festival, downtown Manchester.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Who will be Mr. and Ms. Tullahoma Canine this year? Which dog will win the Best Trick Award? Find out at the Animal Shelter's Bark in the Park, Saturday, October 13th from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Help support the Animal Medical Care Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contest, pup paw art, grooming, ninja slide, and more. Sponsorships, silent auction items, and volunteers are needed. To learn more, contact Teresa Holt at 454-9580 or visit our website.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive family, and we have sold so many new trucks. We've got over 100 pre-owned trucks to choose from. Any make, any size, any model. It's as easy as going to russellbarnett.com to check out our pre-owned truck inventory. And remember, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1949 at 88 degrees. The record low was in 2000 at 30 degrees. The average high on this day is 75 and the average low is 48. Mostly clear weather expected tonight with a low of around 44. Mostly cloudy weather in the forecast for Friday with a high of 64 and a low of 44. Mostly cloudy weather expected again on Saturday with a high of 64 and a low of 50. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on News Leader 6 wishes you and your families a wonderful weekend. Thank you.